everybody, and welcome to the Marvel Plus podcast, the show where we talk the Marvel shows on Disney Plus and how they connect to the MCU. My name is Bret, aka Enigma911. You can catch this podcast live every Sunday over on twitch.tv/Enigma911 every Sunday at 7 p.m. Oh boy, it's been a while because we're back. We took a little break after the What If series, and we are back now because of Hawkeye starting up. So today, because we had 2 episodes drop at the debut, or the beginning of the series dropping, we are going to be talking both episodes. But yeah, you can check that out live over on Sundays, and if you can't catch it live, you can catch it the very next day over on YouTube, or drops in full at 12 p.m. Eastern. So yeah, we're talking about Hawkeye episode 1 and 2 today. So let's get right on into it. We're talking episode 1 of Hawkeye, Never Meet Your Heroes. So we're going to open up the show with a little bit of a flashback to 2012 to the Avengers event, or the attack on New York. And we're going to meet our new hero, or our new main character of Kate Bishop. And we're going to see her with her family. Living in New York. Unfortunately, there's some issues between her parents, or at least they're having a discussion about the possibility of them moving out of the city, and Kate's not too happy about this. Decides to eavesdrop on her parents, which they will then discover because of some racket upstairs, and her father is going to go talk to her to kind of hopefully calm things down. So we hear about the discussion of moving away from New York. Kate doesn't want to do this. And as this is going on throughout the discussion, there's kind of like a lot of, in this discussion and in her follow-up discussion with her mom, there's a lot of like pre-framing or like hinting at a lot of falling things from the sky. And I was like, all right, that's a little on the head, a little on the nose, but we get that. So they are obviously foreshadowing the attack that's going to happen in New York. So yeah, she's going to talk quickly to her dad. Her dad says, we're going to be fine. Everything's going to be a-okay, sport. And then he's going to go off to his office to work. She's going to follow up with her mom. They're going to decide to hang out after some breakfast, play some, I think it was checkers, and they're going to go from there. So Kate runs up to her room, decides to get the checkerboard out, ready to go. And we start seeing some zooms and some flashes of shadows past her window, and now the attack unfortunately has started. We will see the Chitauri attacking New York, doing their thing, and unfortunately hitting her building where she lives. She's trying to find her parents because obviously she's scared as a kid, unable to find her parents. Goes back to the kitchen where her mom was, and there's a big hole blasted open in the kitchen now. Swell. She peers out the hole, sees obviously all the Chitauri flying around, gets scared. One apparently seems to notice her in the building, or at least the damage and the debris, decides to fly right towards her. And luckily, we have our hero arrive to save the day, as the ship will get melted down by a flame arrow or some kind of disintegrating arrow. Hawkeye will save Kate, and Kate will notice this, and we have the the motivation of our new protagonist. Mom's finally going to show up, recover Kate, and they're going to escape, and this will be our opening. Most of our opening. We are going to then, soon after this cut, we're going to learn that unfortunately Dad did pass away during this attack. So we're at his funeral, R.I.P., and Kate is now motivated to be the protector of the household, even though Mom claims, that's her role. And this is where she's going to reveal, like, I need a bow and arrow. So Mom's going to sign her up for archery. And now we're going to go technically into the opening credits, which I thought the opening credits did a really good job of explaining Kate's journey, obviously from her childhood to where we'll pick up in the series. We see her obviously doing the archery lessons. Through the graphics, we'll see her take some martial arts lessons, some gymnastics, and some fencing training as well, to kind of prepare herself for what she's been doing, what she feels she needs to do in order to be a hero, whether for just her family or maybe eventually down the bigger picture of being an actual hero. So we're going to open to present day. And we are going to see see Kate breaking into a building, essentially, or attempting to do that. And it turns out that she is trying to ring a bell on a clock tower for a bet that she lost, I'm guessing. So her and her friends are talking over a phone of like, well, I don't know how safe this is. How's the bell even work? Do you have to hit the bell? Does the bell swing, or does the pendulum inside it swing? So Kate attempts her shot. She's obviously got her bow and her kind of made up Hawkeye outfit with her. Attempts the shot, misses. Well, not misses, but doesn't really go her way the first time. Second time, she's going to add a little bit of a weight to it and will finally hit the bell, striking it. And yay, mission, successful. We won the bet, whatever. But that arrow decided that it's going to do some more damage than she obviously intended to. It's going to strike the rope, allowing the bell to swing. And because of this, I don't know if it was because the bell isn't used all that often or what, but this turned out to be real bad. The bell will swing and fall in the bell tower, destroying some of the bell tower. And that's no good. Security's going to find her, and whoops, cat's out of the bag. She is now caught. So we're going to swoop over to New York City. We get a little tease. They show the Grand Central Station bridge where we saw the big Avenger fight for most of the Avengers film, where Stark Tower is kind of overlooking that spot, and eventually that would become Avengers Tower by Age of Ultron. But as we know from Spider-Man Homecoming, we're linking a lot of movies now, Stark has sold the tower. So I thought we were going to get finally a reveal of who had purchased the tower or what it was now. Unfortunately, we do not kind of get that cut off. So we're swooping through the city. It's holiday times. And we're going to come down to kind of the theater district or some area where there's a play going on for Rogers the Musical. Okay, so Captain America has a fucking musical after him. Interesting to see. We see all of our good pals, good buddies. You see Captain America, we see Iron Man, we see Thor, we see Black Widow, we see Hulk, we see Hawkeye, and then for some reason Ant-Man is involved. And as we're watching this musical unfold, we'll pan through the audience and we'll see Hawkeye sitting there with most of his family. His kids are there and they're taking in the show. And he seems a little bit perturbed, just because obviously this is not how the event went. Like I said, Hawkeye wasn't even there. But unfortunately, he is going to get a little bit of a flashback, a little bit of PTSD, as he's going to see Natasha's character introduced, Black Widow's character introduced, and he's going to think back to Endgame with, unfortunately, the sacrifice she had to take in order for them to get the Soul Stone. Her daughter's going to check in, and we're going to see or get the reveal that Hawkeye has taken some battle damage. He is now sporting a hearing aid in one of his ears. I don't remember 100% if from the comics hearing was an issue he had. I know there was some, I don't want to say disability, but there was something that was holding him back that, as an archer, and especially the skills that he has, you're like, holy crap, that's, quite a bit of a hurdle to overcome. I'm not sure 100% obviously how this hearing aid will come into play in this series, but it is kind of interesting and neat to see the aftermath of after all the stuff obviously he's been through, and especially being a normal guy, we've seen these people walk pretty unscathed from all these battles. Rhodey is probably the one who's taken the biggest hit, that's still alive obviously, of being paralyzed from waist down. But it's just a fun. It's an interesting dynamic that we're playing with to show the weakness of Hawkeye that he has now. So yeah, we see that. We see Hawkeye, obviously not taking the play too well. He decides to step out and catch his breath. Before we continue with the plot and the storyline, in the play scene, I had a thought. It was like, the kids don't look any older. Now, I don't know if it's just the actors. Maybe the actors just haven't aged super a lot, because, It's only been, what, a few years since Endgame? I guess maybe that's the case. But it didn't look like they had aged at all. And I'm like, well, they got blipped away, and that was 5 years for Endgame. But then there's some time gap here. Now that I'm even thinking about it, like, obviously if they got blipped, they didn't age. So maybe that was my hang up too. I'm like, wait a minute. But we're gonna see them a little bit later. The eldest son definitely looks older. And then the other two, I don't know if the girl just doesn't look that different. She doesn't look like she's aged. The younger one kind of does. But it's been a few years since the Endgame movie that like I said, we'll learn on later. I don't know if it's in this episode or episode 2. So clearly there is some time difference. But once again, they blipped away. They didn't age during the blip. I didn't think about that when I watched the show. Anyways, back onto the thing. So yeah, Hawkeye's left the building from the play. Is going to get a little bit of air. We're going to see him leave, go to the restroom. We get this weird graffiti that says Thanos was right from someone. Total odd choice. And like, who's thinking that? And then we see him kind of dealing with the fame of being an Avenger. We get a creep in the bathroom asking for a photo, where he says it's not a good time, which clearly, the bathroom is not a good place to get a photo. And then he kind of waits anxiously while he's washing his hands. So a little funny moment there. So he's gone outside, catching his breath. The kids will catch up with him, decide it's time to go. And they kind of move on with their Christmas plans. So we're going to head back with Kate now. Kate is heading home, presumably in New York, to see her mom. So it looks like the same location of the attack, just obviously refurbished. Very fancy, which I don't think I commented on before, but this family's got some money. So yeah, meets up with mom. Awesome. Hey, mom's got some plans tonight for a charity event, which she doesn't seem like a fan of charity, which was a little bit of a red flag. But then also we get an introduction to her boyfriend, or significant other now. His name is Jack, and he looks really similar to the dad. So Jack is now in the picture. All right, so Kate's gonna go to the charity event with mom and Jack, and we're gonna have some fun over there. Back to Clint. We're gonna get a lot of jumping around on this episode. Mom's calling in. They're at some dinner, having a good time. Mom's calling in to check in. She's chilling at home. They're going home tomorrow, and the kids and Hawkeye kind of discuss like what they want to do over the holidays. The kids want to do some gingerbread houses. They want to do a movie marathon, and I think those ugly sweaters was the other one. So it's 6 days until Christmas. They're heading back from their mini vacation tomorrow to meet back up with mom and have a good time there. And last thing we're going to see in this dinner scene before we hop back over to Kate is the wait staff is going to essentially give them a free dinner for all of Hawkeye's services. And he's appreciative of it along with the family, but he's like, that's not necessary. Like, it feels a little awkward. I don't know if he's just not the biggest fan of being recognized and all this stuff, but a little nice gesture from obviously the wait staff there. So we're back to Kate. She's hopping into the party. She's not in the red dress her mom said wanted. She's in a nice suit, but she's there. She's getting mistaken for the wait staff just because of the tuxedo suit that she is wearing. I don't think it was a tuxedo per se, but whatever suit she's wearing, she's getting mixed up for the wait staff, which will actually come into play later. But as she's here, kind of not super comfortable in the party, she's going to get approached by a older gentleman named Armand Duquesne. Mr. Duquesne's quite a jackass in a way. Seems kind of like an old, begrudging old man. He's nice to Kate, but then he's kind of shitting on her mom and the events of the engagement that's going on. Apparently, mom and Jack are engaged. Kate didn't know about this. She's not a big fan either. Neither is Duquesne. I was wondering why he would really feel invested in this, but apparently he is related to Jack. He is Jack's uncle. So yeah. Duquesne's talking trash about his mom, and yeah, now we get a big confrontation with Kate and her mom about like, oh, why are you engaged, blah, blah, blah. Kate's like, all right, I got to get some air now. She's going to go outside and she's going to randomly stumble upon a golden retriever. A little puppy there, hanging out, just saying, hey, has one eye. So that was interesting. And then the puppy's just going to peace out, like, bye. All right, interesting. Back to Clint. Or no, sorry, back to the hotel. So we're back to the charity event hotel. That's where it's being held. And Mom's talking to Duquesne, old man. And we kind of overhear that Duquesne has powerful friends too. Seems like he's threatening the mom. Kate's going to be lurking, overhearing this stuff, and is going to confront her mom afterwards. And be like, what was that all about? Or is he threatening you, etc., etc. She's kind of peeved. Mom seems distraught, but also like kind of blows off the situation and said, no, it's not a big deal. Let's go back to the party, whatever. Kate's like, nah, F that. She's going to go track down Duquesne and see what he's up to. We find a little secret party in the wine cellar. And thankfully, once again, because of Kate's outfit being mistaken for the waitstaff, she's able to get in there, no problem. And guess what's going on in the wine cellar? It's an auction, because why not? Let's always have a black market auction at all these rich folk events. So Duquesne's down there, and also, hey, Jack's here. Okay, what are you betting on? We get some interesting memorabilia being auctioned off. We see the Ronin sword, apparently recovered from the Avengers campus after all the wreckage of, obviously, Thanos blowing everything up. So we'll see the sword be auctioned off to the old man, and then we are going to see the Ronin suit follow up afterwards. Before the betting is going to be starting, or auctioning is going to be starting after there, we're going to get a break-in. Great! Wall explodes, and we get these guys coming in. And talk about the laziest freaking thugs ever. Didn't seem like they did shit when they first break in. They kind of just mosey on in. Everybody's all threatened and obviously recovering from the exploding wall. Yeah, not a whole lot happening there. But we will see Kate recover the Ronin suit and put it on to confront the invaders, the thugs. So, as this all is going down with the thugs breaking in, we will see Jack steal the Ronin sword and shove it in his jacket, so Old Man will not have that. Him and Old Man were having a little betting war against it. Obviously, he had lost. So Kate is grabbing the Ronin suit. She's quick changed into it, and she's now handling the dudes. Interesting to see, like, obviously she's gone through all this training with, the martial arts, etc. And, she's doing okay in this situation, but I kind of like how it's not polished and she's struggling. There's, a couple hits she's going to take and eat, and she'll bounce back, but she's taking them out. She's, handling her business. She's able to escape out of there, and we're going to see one last shot of the charity event where we're going to notice them finding a key for the lot number of the Avengers campus. So they have that. The dog is also going to arrive and try and help her escape a little bit. Dog's going to eventually run away, and Kate will return the favor by saving the dog from oncoming traffic. Swell. Mrs. G's mentioned in chat, what's the importance of the watch? The watch I did not I didn't honestly hear about or pick up on until episode 2's recap, because they really put that audio in your face of hey, this is important. So I'm not sure if they'd showed the watch or what watch they're even talking about. I'm trying to think of if any of the Avengers had a watch of significance. I doubt they still had their time travel watches with the weird pattern that Iron Man had to figure out. I doubt
Tony still had his watch from Civil War where he like pulled the gauntlet over his hand to fight Bucky while he was enraged. I don't know. That's a great question. I guess we'll have to see follow up with these thugs later on, see if even maybe this key leads to it at the Avengers campus and it's still there, or whatever the case is. All right, so we have now escaped the party, and Clint is noticing on the news that there's Ronin talk. Hasn't been Ronin talk for years, apparently, and this is the first emergence we've seen of him. Well, of the character, of the vigilante. Obviously, Hawkeye says, uh-oh, that's not good, because he's Ronin, so he knows somebody's messing with the stuff, and that's not good rep to have, because Ronin did some bad stuff. In a way. Killed a lot of people. That's the bad stuff. But they were all kind of jackasses and thugs and people who were bad anyway. So, yeah, we got that. So now we're back to Kate. She's checking in with the dog. Apparently she has an apartment, so we've gone there and are stashing the dog away. We're going to feed him some pizza, make sure he's A-okay, and then she's going to leave again. Apparently she has a tracker on Duquesne. We'll figure out later in episode 2 how she's able to do this. But she's going to track down the old man and kind of confront him in this situation. Find his house, break in, and oh my God, this man is dead in the middle of his living room. A lot of blood on the carpet. A lot. Looked like he's been shot. Apparently he wasn't shot. Apparently he was stabbed with, guess what? A sword. Okay. Kate's going to skedaddle out of there as the housekeeping, homekeeper, maid, whatever, is going to make their way back in and will eventually discover the body themselves. So, great. Duquesne's dead. Thugs are going to arrive. They're going to surround Kate and bro. They're going to say bro a lot. They're going to attack Kate. Kate's going to attempt to escape via car. Apparently one was just unlocked. And she's going to lock herself in the car. And then we get some help arriving. Clinton's going to show up. Hawkeye's going to show up and take care of the gang outside and is going to snag Kate and kind of interrogate her about where she got the suit. And we will finally get the line and the interaction between them. Oh my God, you're Hawkeye. Who the hell are you? And we're going to cut to black. And that is going to be the episode, or the wrap on episode 1. So yeah, I thought episode 1 was a solid introduction for obviously the Kate Bishop character and, you know, being reintroduced to Clint's lifestyle and what he wants. Seems like he's done. This man just can't retire without having some peace of mind, but hanging out with his family, obviously, there. Once again, we can see her potential, obviously, with all the training that she's gone through for herself to kind of set herself in line for this role. But she's not perfect. She's not, you know, polished. It's going to be a growing process for her to be superhero, which I appreciate and I like. It's not just automatically bam, boom, bam, I can solve everything and I'm immortal or whatever. So I like that. I like how we're going to have the character growth there. Little critique. Some of the movements in the wine cellar scene, little not well hidden of like either the use of CGI or just obviously the practical effects, whatever it is. There was one in particular where she's going to jump up to a beam and kind of swing herself to drop kick a dude. It was like, I don't know if it was the camera shot they were using or the slowed down footage, but it's like really clear like this was faked. And I don't know. Just from Marvel stuff, I feel like they have the money behind it. Kind of polished that a little bit better. That looked a little off. And then we talked about the time difference with the kids. I was confused about that, but I think I'm just stupid. Let's see. Mrs. G in chat mentioned about the watch. They showed it. Showed a guy had it by the van as they were stealing stuff. Interesting. Okay, yeah, I totally missed that. So it's going to be an interesting thing to figure out what this watch, what's the significance, the importance, why does the thugs here want the watch and their eventual leader, which we'll discover in this next episode. What's the deal there? So, interesting. I might have to go back and rewatch that and maybe look at the watch, see if I recognize it at all, see if it's anybody's. I doubt it is. This might be something new, just they're adding in, but figure it out. So speaking of episode 2, let's roll right on into Hawkeye episode 2, Hide and Seek. So we're gonna get a little recap. I'm not gonna go through the whole thing right now. I'm gonna get a little recap right now of episode 1, and find the watch. I missed that the first time. So we're back to the alley. We're back to the questioning of Bishop, of where she got the Ronin suit from Hawkeye, and she's fanboying right now. She's like, oh my god, you're Hawkeye, you did this and that and all the stuff. And the two have decided they're gonna work together, or at least Clint's decided that, to recover the suit from her and figure out where it came from, who's looking for it, etc. So as they're working their way over to the apartment, Kate is like bragging about her archery and like trying to impress him. Clint's not having any of it. This man's just business and like, I'm just trying to enjoy my holiday with my family. I don't want to deal with this right now. So he's just trying to get it out of the way and get back to normal life. So we see that the apartment that she has is above a pizza place, and apparently she inherited it. So yeah, she's gonna return the suit. She does her change to give it back to Clint. Clint's walking around, sees a lot of trophies from obviously her growing up with the training in the different aspects, and she's got a little shooting range for an archery stuff and hanging out with the dog as well. She comes back down, hands over the suit, and then asks Hawkeye if he can sign her bow. And then guess what? We learn about the gang. The gang has arrived back in, and we finally have a name for the gang in the tracksuit mafia. What the fuck? So we got them. They are now attacking the apartment because they have tracked Kate down. She went in between, obviously leaving the facility for the charity event to this apartment to then do Kate. So they were able to track her to this apartment and rediscover her there. So she's doesn't have a safe place. Let's see. So they found her. They are tossing in Molotov cocktails, and I guess her name is on the buzzer, so they now have her name. So great. We're dealing with that. We try and set the fire or calm the fire down after dealing with the mafia guys. Unfortunately, that's not going to work. So we're going to leave the apartment because safety, and we're going to leave the suit there. I don't know if the suit is fire resistant or whatever, but Clint's convinced that we'll come back for the suit later. Okay, so we have the dog, we have Hawkeye, we have Kate leaving the scene, and they're going to try and find some safety for Kate. So a safe house, per se. She has decided to reside in her aunt's apartment. Her aunt is apparently in Florida for the winter, and she's going to go there. Moira Brandon, I believe was the name, or Brandon Moira, one of the two. Doesn't have a key, so she's going to lockpick her way in, but this is going to be her safe spot to hang out, for her to wait until this issue is dealt with. Clint has decided to go back for the suit, and then he's going to return to his kids for the evening. Let's see. There's a G in chat. I didn't understand how they found her in the first episode. Didn't look like some guy recognized her. So apparently they must have, like I said, tracked her down from leaving the charity event to the apartment. I mean, she was in the ninja suit, so kind of a little hard not to notice somebody in a ninja suit running around, I suppose. It must have been something they did, because Hawkeye was really kind of questioning into her to see if they would have had any connection to that place where they were hiding, so they must have followed. We did get the reveal of one of the mafia members as they did take off their mask, and it looked like a younger gentleman. I don't know why he decided to do that. It wasn't an actor or any character that I particularly recognized, obviously from previous projects of Marvel. So that was odd. That was odd that he would lift up his mask to look at her and then put it back on when the cops arrived. Not 100% sure what the meaning behind that is. Maybe that's a tie-in that the guy does know her. I don't know. Interesting thought. So we're going to get back to Clint. He is sneaking into the apartment once again via a fire department disguise. He's going to throw on a jacket real quick and a helmet. And he leaves his stuff that he brought in the back of the truck. Can't seem to find the suit. So sweet. Awesome. Somebody's taken it. And he is seen on one of the fire trucks a sticker for the New York City LARPers. Oh boy, live action role play. Let's go. So we're going to go back to Kate. She's talking with her mom, finally catching up after the event. Tells her, I'm safe, I'm fine, I left this way, etc. Clint's going to return and take care of her and her wounds, because obviously she got some cuts and scrapes from the fight. She didn't do a great job of cleaning them, so Clint's going to take care of that. So we see a little funny scene of what Kate has been doing since then, obviously talking to her mom, but she wrote everything down at the event and tried to sketch out their faces, which just look ridiculous, but she's trying to help any way she can. So yeah, Clint is eventually, she's going to go rest, and Clint is going to research the LARPers, and he's eventually going to find one, I think via TikTok, which is an interesting choice, modern day, and one of them has taken the Ronin suit and is now using it as his LARPing character outfit. All right, so we got our lead. So we're going to go to the next day. We're going to see Hawkeye sending off his family, obviously, to go home on the plane. The eldest is in charge. Don't lose Nate, the youngest one, which they had some fun already losing him there. So yeah, he's going to essentially put them all in the car, say, hey, I'll see you guys in a day. Don't worry. We're still going to have Christmas together, etc. Nate's going to say bye. He's going to do a little bit of American Sign Language, which was kind of neat to see, especially, coming off of Eternals recently, just seeing more representation of those characters, kind of cool. So we'll see that. And as this scene is going on, his daughter Lila's really worried about Hawkeye, like, oh, what's going on? Are you even going to be home for the holidays? I thought that was the whole point of us just relaxing together. But, Clint will reassure, like, don't worry, I just got something to take care of quick. We'll be fine. We'll be happy and, spend the holiday together. Now we're going back to them being together. Dog is chowing down on some pizza. Dog's got the best diet ever. And we're going to see a quick little shot of the behind Kate watching the news feed. There's a poster for her aunt. She must have been an actress of some kind, maybe in the theater. I don't know. Kind of blatantly there. So I was wondering if that's supposed to be of anything importance. I don't know. But yeah. We're going to see Kate watching the footage. They think Ronan has murdered Duquesne. And she's like, well, no, that's not the case. And we're going to get more backstory on Hawkeye's hearing aid, which we talked about last episode. Obviously, just things catching up to him. He's hurt there. And we're going to learn that Mom, how she's rich, why she's rich. She owns a security company. And I guess they make hand over fist money. So that is going to be the new safe place for Kate. She's going to go head to her family in a secure location of the security business. So Hawkeye is going to pretty much walk her there to drop her off to make sure there's no funny business with the tracksuit guys, etc. As they're doing this, they kind of talk about like Hawkeye's popularity and the Avengers' popularity and how there doesn't seem to be a lot of, in a way, representation for him. And there are for others, including Ant-Man, which we see quite a bit of. And just like his personality, it seems like Kate's trying to give him a little bit of a pep talk. Like, he wants to be in the back, just able to live his life, but he's kind of questioning why there isn't more for him, which is interesting. But yeah, Kate's essentially giving him a pep talk, like, no, you do good things and etc. So we have that little pep talk. She gets dropped at security. Jack's there. Yippee.
we got to talk about the old man dying. So sorry for your loss. Casualties or formalities. Ha ha ha. And, yeah. We got dinner plans later for him. Kate's in charge of all the conversation topics. Swell. Back to Clint. He has followed the LARPer lead, and it has led him to, I don't know if it's Central Park, but some park where there's a role-playing event going on. He's going to try and go talk to the dude. One of the head LARPers in charge is going to stop him, make him sign up for the event, and kind of explain how it works. We're going to get a kind of comical scene of Hawkeye going through all the, live-action role-playing stuff with the sword and the combat, and obviously he's just wiping the floor with people because obviously he has the training. And the rest of the crew here is mainly, seems like officers and firefighters. So yeah, he's going to make it easy work of anybody who he encounters on his way over to the dude with the Ronin suit. And, he's going to confront him. The guy obviously recognizes him very quick. He's like, oh, hey. Hawkeye lays down the situation. You can either hand it over nicely or I will take it from you. And the guy's like, all right, yeah, I'll hand it over. But can I kill you in the game? Could I keep my rep to boost my rep, whatever? And all right, whatever. We're going to quickly flap back over to Kate. And she is texting Hawkeye's number. They exchange numbers as they, departed from each other. But it was only for emergencies only. And obviously being the fanboy or fangirl that she is, she's all just texting Hawkeye and trying to communicate with him, form a bond. We're going to get an unknown caller. She automatically assumes it's Hawkeye and is not. Is the detective looking for her, trying to figure out where she was the previous night, what she's been up to. So now she's kind of in trouble there. She blows it off, says, hey, I'm at work right now. Can we do this tomorrow? All right. So they're going to have their little date lined up with a follow-up with the detective. Back to Clint. We see the trial by combat. We're going to let the LARPer win. And dude's cool after. Dude does hand the suit back over. I was wondering if there was going to be some hijinks there. His name is Grills. And him and Hawkeye are going to have a nice exchange. Happy holidays. Leave with the suit. All right. Mission successful. Great. Clint's going to head to some kind of locker storage and is going to store some stuff. I think it was the Ronin suit, along with maybe some other things. But he's going to follow up with his wife, say, hey, I'm not going to be home, or I'm going to miss my flight. I think this is going to take another day. Mentions the situation with the tracksuit guys. And his wife understands. It's like, oh, great, those people. But unfortunately, obviously, he's missing some of the holiday fun as he misses the gingerbread stuff. So he's going to do that, and now his plan is to go get caught by the tracksuit guys. Just go right into their hands and handle the situation from the inside. All right, we're going to flip back over to Kate. It's dinner time, and boy, oh boy, does it get awkward between her mom, and Jack. She's going to be confrontational with Jack. Try and pick his brain about maybe the event of the charity event, like what happened, the relationship with Duquesne as the uncle, like what's going on there. And eventually they get to talking about swords and fencing. And as we had seen in the previous episode, Jack's quite an aficionado for swords, kind of collects them, and obviously we saw him steal the Ronin blade. So Kate's kind of questioning about that and challenges him to a fencing match. Great. We see Kate wipe the floor with him for like 3 rounds. Very aggressive as she's going through with the fencing. But she's kind of getting the idea that Jack is taking it easy on her and kind of throwing the matches. She's not happy about this, so at one point Jack will take off his helmet to talk to the mom, and Kate's going to take a swipe at his head. And easily, without even looking, he was able to disarm her and throw her blade down to the floor. So we can see this man has some skills that obviously he was hiding before. Mom's not too happy about the attempt. Makes me wonder, could you actually hurt somebody with a fencing sword? I thought that was the whole point. I mean, they bend and are flexible when you hit them in the chest. What do I know, though? I'm not a fencer. So yeah, we learn more information about Jack. Obviously, like I said, he has some talent and some skill, and we get this weird flashback moment, not really flashback, but kind of like moment of like realization for Kate as Jack's going to try and offer peace and offers a butterscotch. Now, the reason this butterscotch is so important, we saw these actually in episode 1 with Duquesne leading up to discovering his body. There was a bunch of butterscotches with his name on it, Armand the Third. And this one that Jack offers, I believe, was Armand the Fourth, if I'm not mistaken. If it said third, that makes it even more interesting. But Kate's going to kind of freak out, and she's going to kind of get herself away from the family situation here. We're going back to Clint one more time. He has easily been discovered by the Tracksuit Mafia. Not that he was trying to make it difficult. We get the what's up, bro. I don't understand these characters. And they beat up Hawkeye a little bit, take him in, and someone mentions she wants him alive. Red flag. I was wondering if this was going to be Black Widow, the sister, making a play here. Maybe she's in charge of the Tracksuit Mafia, but then I was like, these guys are idiots, and she's already a super secret spy. That would be dumb. But anyways, she wants him alive. So we kind of know a little bit more about the identity of the leader here. So he's going to get captured, and they are trying to interrogate Clint. Where's Kate? Where's Kate Bishop? Who's Kate Bishop? And Hawkeye's playing this nonchalant, I don't know what you're talking about, etc., etc. And crashing through the ceiling, we'll have Kate Bishop arriving in her gear, attempting to make the save for Hawkeye after she learns that he has been taken via phone call and a tracksuit guy picking up. She's able to use the security company's app or something to track down Hawkeye's phone, which must have been the way that she tracked down Duquesne's phone earlier. I don't know if they exchanged numbers. I guess they did. So she's able to track that down, find him, and attempt to make the save. Save's not going to go well. She's going to get captured herself, and we will then see one of the bros reporting into the leader, and we'll see this woman essentially jamming out to some music, really involved in the bass, and we'll cut to black, and that will be episode 2 of Hawkeye. So, no post credits after either of these episodes. I think that's kind of be the theme or the way these go. Obviously, we've seen at this point WandaVision, we've seen Loki, we've seen What If, and obviously Falcon and Winter Soldier. I don't think we're going to get post credits till maybe episode 5 or 6 to kind of tease something towards the climax of the series. So nothing there. So yeah, nothing there. We learned a little bit more about Jack in this episode, and with some research, I discovered that he's actually a Marvel character, a Marvel villain, named simply the Swordsman. So we have that involved now. I had a feeling that I've seen this character before. I think he's essentially just like a swordsman. Duh. I don't know if he was part of the fake Avengers where the bad guys took the disguises of Avengers and kind of caused some ruckus. I don't know if that's the case. I don't know too much history about him, but we do have it confirmed that this is a villain that is established, not just somebody flying in here. But Mr. G in chat is asking who is the woman at the end for the Tracksuit Mafia. Good question. No idea. She didn't look familiar at all from, once again, previous projects. I talked about the theory of, Widow's going to be involved in this because she's obviously at the end of Black Widow movie. We saw that Luis Dreyfus character say, Hawkeye killed your sister, blah, blah, blah. So she's kind of got that beef with Hawkeye. I think she's eventually going to show up in this series. I think that's confirmed. So I was wondering if she was in charge. I don't think it is. Obviously, with this woman being revealing and how stupid the tracksuit mafia people are with the bruh and everything. I don't know. I don't know this character. I, once again, didn't seem recognizable from any of the projects we've seen already. So it'll be interesting. We have a lot to learn on episode 3. But yeah, this has been the Marvel Plus podcast, the show where we talk the Marvel shows on Disney Plus and how they connect to the MCU. My name is Bret, aka Enigma911, and you can catch this podcast live over on twitch.tv/Enigma911 every Sunday at 7 p.m. Eastern. If you can't catch it live, that's A-OK. It drops over on YouTube the very next day, where it's posted at 12 noon Eastern, so you can check it out over there after you do your homework. And we can chat about the shows. Yeah. Only 6 episodes. This one, I'm not sure. Is it only 6 confirmed? If so, ooh, mini-series compared to the other ones, which I kind of like, kind of don't. I guess that would make sense. Are we doing like a day per episode leading up to the holiday? That would make sense, because it was 6 days till Christmas for episode 1, and then obviously 5 days because he missed the gingerbread. Okay. That makes sense. Unless he is going to miss the holiday, and that's going to be like, aw, moment of that. But we'll see. We'll see how it plays out. Hope you guys are enjoying Hawkeye. I'm enjoying it so far. It's been fun kind of getting back into the live action stuff after What If. Not that it was bad. It just wasn't the greatest. So it's good to get back into this. Hopefully we can build that excitement back up, and Disney Day, Disney Plus Day. It wasn't too long ago, and we heard about a slew of projects eventually making their way to Disney Plus. So we have a lot more to talk about in these coming months and even these coming years. So keep it here, and we will chat some Marvel with you guys. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening, and we will see you guys on the next one. Take care.